It's 11:28. Every police officer should be armed with a taser. That's what police chiefs are calling for after new figures show that 3 people are shot every day with the 50,000-volt stun guns. Tasers were deployed in almost 4,500 confrontations last year, more than ever before. North Wales Police are even giving the public a demonstration of tasers at an open day this weekend. So I'm asking you whether you think all officers should carry them as routine. Would that make you feel safer? 03700 100 110. Come on the programme and tell me what you think. We're going to talk to Richard Taylor, who's campaigned against the widespread use of tasers. Hi, Richard. Welcome to you.
Hey, good morning, Jason.
Hi, good morning. What's wrong with them?
Well, I'm entirely happy for police officers who are armed with conventional firearms to have a taser as a less lethal alternative. And what I oppose is having police officers on patrol routinely armed with taser, because as those figures that you just quoted show, the more police officers we have armed with taser, the more they're getting used. And I'm worried about an escalation in the amount of force that our police are using. And I think that if we had all police officers armed with taser, then that would damage the relationship between the police and the public. I think it would change a bit if we've got more officers who are sort of more kitted up with not just with taser but with their stab vests and their baseball caps and things, and I think that's got its place in the specialist units, but I don't want to see that on just routine day-to-day patrol. I think we've got something that's really valuable in this country, which is a relatively good relationship between the police and the public generally, and that's essential for policing, so we've got to maintain that.
So let's get this clear then. You support the idea of a specialist taser unit, but you're against the widespread use of arming every officer.
Absolutely. So certainly every officer who's got a gun must have a taser there on his belt as an alternative, and he must make the decision which one to use. So I absolutely support having the less lethal alternative there, and I even support having taser available where officers, perhaps in a rural area, there's only perhaps someone on their own or a couple of officers being called to a violent situation, and to have well-trained officers in that situation. I agree. What I'm opposing is this call for all officers to be armed with taser weapons, and this is something which it's been called for a lot over the past few years, and I'm quite impressed actually at the way that police authorities have been rejecting it. So the Home Secretary's been calling for it. The money's even been there, but I think people who are closer to understanding the way that sort of neighbourhood policing works realise that actually it could really be quite damaging to the way people view the police.
Yes, Richard, North Wales Police, as I said in the introduction, they're giving the public a demonstration of tasers at an open day. In a previous life, working as a news reporter on television, I went to a similar demonstration at Gwent Police many years ago. Have you seen them in action?
I haven't seen them in action in person. I called the police press office before I came on to ask them exactly what they're doing, and essentially all they're going to do at their open day, which is coming up, the North Wales Police Open Day, is have one set up with the prongs out, and they're just going to sort of do a bit of a lecture so they're not actually going to use one. No one's going to get tasered. But I was aware, I don't know if you've seen the video that's online of the previous Chief Constable in North Wales, Brunstrom, he actually had a taser taped to him, and he got a second and a half of the shock, and he sort of screamed and fell to the floor. But even in that case, he only got 1.5 seconds, and the standard default, I think, is 5 seconds, and he never got shot with the barbs, which is, of course, a big part of what happens. He had the barbs taped to him. So these are quite serious amount of force involved, in my view, when a taser is used. But of course, some people say that, in fact, it's less force than being hit with a baton. But it's a difficult one. But I think the difference is that you're a lot more disconnected as a police officer from the force if you're just pulling the trigger, just pressing a button. And my impression is that you know a lot more what you're doing if you're using a baton, or even if you're using your CS spray. The taser's got its place, but what I don't want to see is it being used sort of to urge compliance and just to make officers' lives easier.
Richard, good man. Thank you very much indeed. Good to talk to you. This is from BJ, who says on the text, Jason, give more police more weapons. This country will become like the United States. Shoot first, ask questions after they shot and killed someone. And this is from Victoria in Llanybydder on Bank.